Hey everyone, hey third period. Welcome back to class. I appreciate you guys being on your best behavior today and being super understanding of me when I am not in class. You guys know I hate being away from you. I miss you guys every single time I'm not there, but I'm only ever out because I'm trying to learn and do things that I can bring back for you guys that are going to benefit you. Because you guys know I love you guys too much to just abandon you. Okay, so I am on campus though. If you absolutely need me for anything, I'm not exactly sure what room I will be in, but you can always try and find me. If you have my number through the Remind app, or if you want to, the Remind app code is over behind my desk. You can always text me any questions that you may have or any concerns. So before, or actually, this is our warm-up for today. As always, please answer the following question in 5 to 7 sentences in your notebook. You should only really need about 10 minutes to do this. But my question to you today is, if you had $1 million to spend on education in your community, what would you do with it? So this is your chance to be creative and describe your perfect school. What do you think school is missing? What do you think would be better for you? What would make life for you, your siblings, and your friends better in your community? Okay? What are we missing as teachers, as principals, as schools? Okay? So take about 10 minutes to write about this. I'll have the sub go ahead and pause the video when you guys are ready to continue. You may just click resume. All right, ladies and gents, so there are a few of you who have been invited to go with us on a field trip tomorrow to the LA Plaza. If that's you and you've turned in your permission slip, or you have yours to turn in right now, please give it to the sub before you leave. If any of you guys would like to speak to me about this field trip, I will be back in my classroom after school at 2:30, so you can come find me. But this is just your friendly reminder. We are meeting at the front of the school at 6:30. The bus is leaving at that time. There will be no exceptions. I have triple checked on the buses. They will be here. We will be on the road. We have to beat out LA traffic so we can make it on time for our tour at 10. Okay, I am not providing you guys with lunch. Please bring about $20 for this. And then I'll show you guys a little bit about where we're going to be at and what we are going to be doing. Okay, so we are going to be going down to an area right outside of downtown LA, to this museum called the Plaza de Cultura y Artes that is located right by Olvera Street, which is the oldest part of LA. Okay, we're going to be doing an exhibit that is centered around protest of the 1968 LA student walkouts that were protesting the unequal education of primarily Latino students and students of color. So this is where we're going to be at right here in this building. And we're going to be in this area, which is called Historic Olvera Street. So after our tour ends at about noon, you're going to have about an hour to go get something to eat and hang out in this area only. We are leaving here at 1. We should be back on campus at 3:30, so make sure you have a ride figured out. But I just wanted to show you guys a quick virtual tour of the Olvera Street. So this is historical because it's it is the oldest part of LA that survives from back in, I don't know, the 1800s or something. But if you've been here, you know what I'm talking about. But there are a whole bunch of historic buildings. There's a whole bunch of museums. Like you have the Chinese American Museum here. You have this exhibit on the America Tropical, which is actually a painting that was painted in the 1960s by, I can't remember his name, but a famous painter, and it was so controversial that it was covered up with paint. They whitewashed it. But then what happened is that recently people remembered it was there and they uncovered it, and they have realized that it has been preserved almost like perfectly. So go check it out. Try to figure out why it was so controversial at the time, why they would want to cover it up. Right in here, this is what we call the Avila adobe. Okay, it is the oldest house still standing in LA, and it kind of tells you what life was like back in the day. So you can go through there. It is free, so is the America Tropical. And then all these little things you see right here are little stands that are selling little goodies that you might want to buy. Right in here is my favorite restaurant called Mr. Churro. They have churros with all sorts of different flavors and fillings, as well as some really great burritos. And $20 is more than enough to get a whole different thing, or a whole different, lunch, dessert, etc. from Mr. Churro or anywhere else that you may want to check out. But like I said, just don't forget to be here at 6:30. And then I wanted to show you guys this. This is from the LA Plaza Cultura y Artes. They sent this to me because they want me to make sure that you guys are on your best behavior. Although I really have no concerns for how you guys are going to be acting. But please remember that you must remain with your chaperones at all times. Chaperones for this trip will be myself, Mr. McCarrig, our counselor, Miss Weezar, as well as Coach Jefferson. So please do not get stray away from us. And mainly, cell phones should be put away during tours and workshops. These people are allowing us to visit them for free, and they are walking us through a very awesome exhibit and tour. So you will not be rude while you are out there and be on your phone. They're going to give us a spot for you guys to lock up your belongings before our tour starts, before our workshop. You may lock up your cell phone in there. If I see anyone on their cell phones during our tour, our workshop, I will be taking that. You will not be allowed to go on any other field trips, ever. I will make sure of that. Okay, simple instructions, simple directions. You're expected to follow them. After our workshop is over, then you can have your phone back. And if you want to go through the exhibit by yourself again, then you may take pictures. But you will not have your cell phone on you while you are in this tour or workshop. We are going to be respectful. Okay. So now that that's been said and done, we're going to go back to our assignment for today. So, I know I have been out a couple of days, and like I said, a lot of that, or actually all of it, is not my fault. But so far, you should have completed the following things. You should have read up to chapter 4 in The Hate You Give. I read up to half of chapter 3 with you guys, so you really only have to read 1.5 chapters on your own. So you should be all the way up to page 66, and if you have not done so, please make sure you are doing that because it will be on your quiz on Friday. Please complete the reading questions for chapters 1 through 4, and complete the reading prompt, which is on page 10 of your writing journal. This should be a 2-paragraph minimum, and you must have quotes to back up your response. Please highlight these quotes so I make sure that they are there and I can give you credit for them. So the next couple of days we're going to be watching a movie called The 13th, and this was a movie that was created in 2016. What it does is it describes the 13th Amendment. The 13th Amendment is the amendment that got rid of slavery in the United States. Okay, it abolished slavery. And what this movie does is it analyzes the impact of the 13th Amendment on the criminalization of Black youth and men. So this is relevant to us because that is what we are reading about in The Hate You Give, right? We saw what happened to Khalil, and now Star is having to cope with having been there during this violent scene. Okay, not only that, but Star is also coping with the death of her friend Natasha from when she was younger. Her friend Natasha was a victim to gun violence. So all of these issues are covered in this movie, and I want you, as you are watching, to think, okay? There is a movie guide that will be passed out today. You may not get to fill it out because the movie guide is supposed to make you think. It's not going to be level 1 questions where you can go back to the movie and find the response. They're going to be level 2 questions where you will be analyzing what is being said and talked about, whether you agree or disagree with the movie or not. So as you are watching, please think about any questions that you may have afterwards. Think about if you agree or disagree, how it impacts you, how it doesn't impact you, what it makes you think about, what it makes you wonder about, okay? We've been doing all sorts of critical analysis activities in our class these past few months. So you guys are 100% experts at critical analysis, okay? What does this movie say and how does it affect you? What does it mean to you? Okay? The guide is not a joke. It is worth 150 points. There are 13 questions and they're all free response. And you will have extra time to finish it on Thursday. So, like I said, because the questions are supposed to make you think, they're not easy questions to answer as you are watching. But you may want to preview the questions as you are watching so that you know what you are looking for. Okay? As always, you may work together. And just a quick warning, because it talks about the criminalization and the impact of slavery and the 13th Amendment on Black youth and men in our country, there are some instances that may be graphic. And I know as I was watching it made me not uncomfortable, but brought up a lot of emotions and feelings and made me a little just sad. So if that's you and you need to take a moment, you are absolutely free to step out and take a moment for yourself if that's what you need to do. Okay, but it's all historical, it's all relevant. So that's your assignment for the next for today, tomorrow. And this movie guide, like I said, is going to be worth a lot of points. You will have time to finish it on Thursday, but please do not take it lightly and pay attention to the movie as you watch. All right, so I'll see you guys when I return. I know you guys will be on your best behavior. I really have no concerns. All right, guys, be good. Bye.